Hello, welcome. Today we're talking about making changes where we are looking to reduce the amount of times we are doing something or perhaps cutting it out altogether. Of course, many of our New Year's resolutions are likely to sit in this space. Maybe we've got something that we really want to give up. We want to stop doing it. So if that's you, and this is something that you're beginning to find a little bit difficult, you're struggling with, or perhaps you've already given up, then just hear me out. There's a few bits and pieces I'd like to share with you that I think are really useful to be aware of in this space. Moreover, I'm going to be running a session tomorrow and on Friday that will broaden this whole subject out just a little bit more to hopefully give you the awareness that you need to succeed. So let's today just talk about how would we reduce the amount of times that we are doing something in a day, whatever that something might be. Well, the first thing that we need to be aware of when we're looking to reduce something is that there is already an existing pattern of behaviour, a habit, if you like, that normally means that we would do it. And so if we want to adjust this, we have to be mindful of how powerful those learned behaviours are. Quite simply, once they are embedded, habits are exceptionally effective and cost-efficient ways that the brain has of ensuring that certain things that we need to do happen almost effortlessly. Once we've learned how to do something and it's become embedded as a habit, we don't have to think about it anymore. And there are many, many occasions in our day where this is quite simply the most helpful thing in the world. And it allows us to save our really sharp cognitive energy for the things we need to focus on, and think about in our days, especially in our working lives. We need to save energy for that stuff because, from a brain point of view, it's quite hard work. So to streamline the whole process, what the brain does is learn as much of our routine, as many of our habits and our behavioural loops as it possibly can, so that it can run those for us on autopilot. Challenge is that the brain isn't very good, in fact it just can't, tell the difference between a virtuous habit loop, something that's good for us, it's helpful, it's really one that we want to rely on, and perhaps something that's a little bit less desirable or helpful, maybe doing something, eating something that perhaps isn't the best for us. So if we're wanting to cut down the amount of times that habit loop is being deployed, or adjust what the habit loop is all about, it's worth knowing what it is in the first place. So I'm going to say a little bit more about habit loops in the segment that I'll be videoing for tomorrow, so do come back and listen to that. But for now, what I want to do is share a few ideas that might help as you are adjusting your norm, if you like, as you are adjusting the pattern of behaviour or the habit itself. So let's talk about one less. I like one less, just one less, because I think it's a really nice entry-level way into making change, especially if it's involving reducing something. Especially, even more so, if you've already tried and perhaps found that whatever it was you set out to do was a little bit too difficult, perhaps a little bit too big. Now, there are some times, and there are some folks out there who are absolutely brilliant at going cold turkey, and they never look back. Fantastic, that's wonderful, and if that's you, amazing. But there are many other things, and many others of us, my good self included, who are going to find that almost impossible. It's simply too big of a step all at once. And for us, there are some other techniques that will get us to the same place in the end that are not going to be as hard, and we are far more likely to succeed. So for me, just one less is the most brilliant piece of knowledge to have if you are going to struggle with cutting something out completely, and it pretty much does what it says on the tin. Whatever it is that you are looking to give up or do less of, you're simply going to do less of it. And you're going to do less of it in a manageable way that, from your point of view, actually feels achievable. And this is important because we don't always have access to the energy or the willpower that we need to make really difficult things happen. Sometimes we need to go one step at a time in bite-sized chunks that we can manage even when we're tired, even when we're hungry, even when we really don't want to. Now I'm going to be sharing information about cravings and willpower at the end of the week. It will be the final piece of this special week. So if you think you're interested in that, please do come back on Friday. But for now, let's talk about just one less. I'm going to talk about just one less using my favourite thing in the world, chocolate. Now imagine, if you will, that this is my daily chocolate habit. So lots of chocolate, and I'm perfectly capable of eating through this in a day. But for my own reasons, I want to get healthier, and so I'd like to eat a little bit less chocolate. Now, I would love to think that I'm just capable of saying, do you know what, chocolate be gone, not going to happen, I'm not eating it anymore. But I don't know about you, I find that impossible. That chocolate is in the house, then I'm going to eat it, and if it's all there, I'm afraid I'm probably going to eat all of it or as much as is available. So much more likely to be effective for me in my chocolate space is if I simply say, fine, well, how about I just do one less piece of chocolate a day. Now, that doesn't sound like very much. Sure, if I'm going to go from 6 pieces of chocolate to 5 pieces of chocolate, no big deal, right? It's not going to make a mammoth difference to me right away. But it is achievable. It's even more achievable if I choose to spread out the amount of time I can enjoy one chocolate by not bolting it down, by really taking time to savour or enjoy it. Or maybe I simply start eating the chocolate a little bit later in the day. I nudge my timings back a little bit, so I don't even notice that actually I've taken one of those pieces of chocolate away and now I'm only eating 5. Now, I'm not going to stop there. That's just the first step, just as it will be for you with whatever you are choosing to do. Take it down by one notch. One piece of something, one drink, one cigarette, one vape, one piece of chocolate. Whatever it is that you'd rather not be doing. One piece of content on your social media if you're scrolling through your phone. You're just going to do a tiny wee bit less. And then you're going to just do that for a week, just to get used to it, to build your confidence that you can. And then guess what? The following week, you take another one away. Another piece of chocolate. Now I'm down to 4. You can see where I'm going with this. If it is something like social media or scrolling or television or something like that that you're trying to bring down, maybe time actually would be a better thing to focus on. A couple of minutes less. Likewise, if you really struggle to wrap up work at the end of the day and then go and have some you time or some family time, finish a couple of moments earlier every day, and before you know where you are beginning to start to have some real gains. Is it going to take you a little bit longer? Of course. But is it going to give you a better chance of success? Also, yes. So why not give it a try? Just one less, one tiny wee thing less every day for a week, and then add another one and see how you get on. Now, if you'd like to know any more about habit loops or willpower or cravings, please do come back as we finish up the end of our week with some really interesting information about some crucial stuff that's really going to help you out, whatever you're doing, whether it's more or less. But for now, enjoy giving that a try, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.